Well, I guess I kind of lied a little bit because I said last week that this was going to be one of my last Pirate videos, but I got today and probably the end of the season officially to worry about. But let's be honest, the Pirates season ended back after the All-Star break. Good Friday morning to everybody here. I am Mac, and I am back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram, link in the box below. Yeah, I mean, this probably is going to be my last Pirate video for the next couple weeks or so. I'm just officially waiting for the season to end, like I said. But here is where the Pirates need to really strike gold in the offseason in order to really take this rebuild seriously. Because I still stand by my statement, okay? You have your core built up. You have all the roster positions and the fill-ins that you need to, you need to build upon. And you have your foundation built. But now they're entering the most important part of the rebuild, which is capitalizing it on the offseason and making changes moving forward. Okay? And with me, it needs to start. I mean, I can't scream it enough. It has to start with changing the coaching staff. Okay? And you know where I'm going with this. Derek Shelton cannot be the manager of this team moving forward if we are serious about being a contender. This guy has been with us since 2020, and pretty much we've had 3 100-loss seasons with him. I know 2020 was shortened due to COVID. It affected everybody. I'm not using that as an excuse. But here's the thing. You win 19 games in 2020. 19 games out of 60. If you equate that to a normal 162-game season, that's the equivalent of having a winning percentage that equates to having a 100-loss season. So yes, I am counting 2020 as a 100-loss season. And then obviously 2021 and 2022, back-to-back 100-loss seasons. And Shelton became the first manager. Okay? Let this sink in, Pirate fans. The first manager in the history of this franchise that goes all the way back to 1887, aka before even my ancestors were born, that this franchise has ever had. Okay? He needed to be fired after 2021, in my honest opinion. Okay, you know me. I sit down here. I'm normally objective when it comes to this team, but when it comes to the Pirates, or on my videos, I'm normally objective. But when it comes to this team in particular, I'm both objective and subjective. Shelton needed to be fired after 2021. There's no excuse. And especially if you are serious about taking this rebuild seriously and finishing up, because 2024 is acting like a make or break year for the Pirates, where you now have pretty much 2 full seasons with this core underneath your belt. You need to make some serious changes, and it starts with Derek Shelton. I completely hated the fact that we extended this guy at the beginning of the season. Completely hated it. And here's the thing about it. I still wouldn't have liked it if we extended him now. Like, say if the Pirates were still over 500 in August and the Pirates extended him then, I mean, yeah, it would have made more sense at that point, but I still wouldn't have liked it. I would have understood it more, but I still would have hated it. It makes no sense to give this guy an extension in April just because you had a fluke April and you're feeling good about yourself, and you're so sure that he's the guy moving forward, Ben. You can't do that. And that's my problem with Ben Cherrington. I really like the draft picks that he made, and I really like the capital that he gave us, and I got a lot of respect for all the stuff that he went through with refurbishing the farm. But when it comes to the overall front office aspect of it, he's very hit and miss. Now, look, I'm not going to sit down here and act like I know everything there is to know about, managing the front office and managing a team and being a GM of a franchise, okay? Because I don't. I don't know everything about transactions. I don't know everything about money. I don't know everything about being a GM. I don't. What I do know, though, is that when you are a GM, you have to have a good head on your shoulders and you have to have a lot of common sense and you have to know who is, worthy and important and necessary of keeping on this team. Shelton is not. This is a guy who constantly mismanages the lineup, who constantly mismanages the bullpen, and works these pitchers' arms off for no reason at all, and he brings in our closer pretty much as a setup guy. This team, I'm telling you, we will not go anywhere as long as Derek Shelton is the manager, and he is the main domino piece that needs to fall in 2024. At the very least, in the offseason of 2024. Should have happened in 2021, like I said, after that season. But now, there's no excuse. You're going to miss the playoffs again. You're not going to finish over 500. Get the hell out of here with this, well, we're only 8 games out of the wild card talk. Guys, do you seriously think that this team is going to be in the wild card in a month? Do you seriously think that this team can even win one playoff game like this? Stop talking about the wild card. It's not going to happen. Okay? There are too many holes on this team. There are too many question marks about this team that should have been answered around Mother's Day, and that falls on the manager. Plain and simple. You can have all the talent in the world. If you are not a smart manager, your talent is useless. It's like having you can have the prettiest looking Corvette ever. Nice leather seats in the front, a great engine. It can move 150 miles an hour. It has, a great motor sound to it. Great exterior. It's just a pretty looking car altogether. But if your engine's weak if your engine's weak, you constantly need to get oil changes and your battery's corroded, it's a piece of crap. That's what Derek Shelton is. He is a fancy looking sports car that can't operate. Okay? Andy Haines needs to go as well. Because I think I've flaunted that dead horse enough. His approach to the plate is so flawed. Wait for your perfect pitch. Don't take the bat off your shoulders and just let these fastballs whiz right down the plate. This is his second season as the hitting coach? And the Pirates are still a bottom tier offensive team. We've lost our mojo when it comes to stealing bags. And no one just hits for average on this team anymore. He needs to get out of here. All there is to it. But when it comes to the players, you have to be smart about who you know is going to be helpful with this team moving forward. I'm talking about first base. Connor Joe cannot be your everyday first baseman, okay? He is a good depth piece to have, but he cannot be at first base every single day, which is why Tamar Johnson needs to be called up next year at the bare minimum before opening day. You know what? I take that back. At the bare minimum, around May, Tamar Johnson needs to be called up. He's been raking it down in the farm. Connor Joe is not your everyday first baseman. You have to make a decision on the middle of the infield. I know it's going to be a lot easier when O'Neal Cruz comes back eventually, but if Liover Peguero is raking it and he has good pop in the bat and he can feel well, I see no reason to not put him in there. For the love of God, figure out your outfield as well, because there is no reason at all Bryan Reynolds should be DHing. He DH'd a lot in the Brewers series, and the game I went to a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago, he was DHing against the Cubs. Why do you think the Cubs were hitting the ball all across the outfield against us in that game? Because they knew, hey, their best center fielder's DHing today, so let's just hit it where they're weak. That's why they kept hitting hog wild on us, because Bryan Reynolds was DHing. You are not paying a guy of that caliber $106 million over 8 years, the largest extension in the history of this franchise, may I mind you, to DH. He should be in the outfield every day. Josh Palacios, question mark if he's going to be your fourth outfielder. I would use him as indispensable, but not every day. You see what I mean? We are still asking ourselves questions that should have been answered a long time ago. And that's a reflection of the manager. That's why I keep saying Shelton can't be the manager of this team moving forward. The rotation, yes, that's another one, okay? We know Mitch Keller's going to be here. We know that Johan Oviedo's still going to be here. We shut down Paul Skeens for 2023. Thank God they did that because you don't want to rush the kid. I expect to see Paul Skeens no later than 2025, okay? And he's in Double-A as well. Good. But that's a no-brainer right there. That should have been the consensus the day you drafted him. Quinn Priester, I don't know if he's fully dependable. Okay? Jackson, Andre Jackson, he can't be in the rotation. He should be in the bull. He should be a middle relief bullpen guy. Solmedo, that's a tough decision for him as well. You see, these are all things that need to be addressed in the offseason. And you see how everything goes around the fact that it all blends in with one guy. It's Derek Shelton. Like I said, you can have all the talent in the world. If you don't know how to use it, you're useless. That's why having a smart manager is the most important aspect of building a baseball team. And that's why this rebuild is not done until this knucklehead is out of Pittsburgh for good. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is Mac checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.